Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG. This one is located on the south spawn of Erlenberg Assault, and it's under the command of Angelina, and this is her latest replay, or rather the one that sneaked in under the wire on Saturday. So let's see how she gets on in this battle. 2 marks of excellence on a 15cm howitzer mounted on top of the Panther hull, and those big struts along the side at the top of the vehicle are actually the dismounting struts, so they can actually take that turret off and mount it on a fixed emplacement. Okay, off we go. Now the Panther isn't particularly fast, which is one of the reasons why Angelina's chosen to put a turbo booster on this vehicle to actually make it go faster. In fact, actually it has half the horsepower that the standard Panther has in the battle. Yes, a standard Panther would actually have 700 horsepower. This thing is only 350 if I remember correctly, which is not that much. Okay, SMVCC56 going over to the island. Actually it's 370 horsepower. But again, it's not a lot compared to the 700 horsepower you get from the real thing. Okay, directly on top of this turret, she collected 275 of that, and then she got 405 when our Vipero took out that BK. So, good start. 1 enemy tank down, Angelina had a part in it. Looking around for targets, furiously trying to find the right one. She's found one. And in fact, it's a good selection of targets because she's got a KV3 and a Cromwell, and they were alongside each other for a short time. Angelina fires, she gets a direct hit on the KV3 for 108. Looks like somebody else hit him at the same time though. Certainly dropped him hit points. Angelina's just relocated slightly, very helpful to avoid counter battery. Now we did briefly see an EBR Hotchkiss there, up on the east side of the map, but look at this, a KV2R, the premium KV2, is sitting in that channel. Now she's got a very, very narrow gap because you can see the line keeps turning red. Okay, the shell didn't go exactly where she wanted to on this occasion. It actually went too long, zipped past the turret and landed a short distance away. But Angelina knows there is a target there, so she might go back to it. Next is a BZ176, which is a Chinese heavy tank with rockets. One of the new tanks, the fake tanks that Wargaming keep putting into the game. You must wonder, of course, they put these fake tanks into the game, why they don't put them in with capability to turn into a truck or a car or a Beetle or something like that. After all, you know, it's suspending belief that these tanks would actually be in the game. Of course, Wargaming brought out virtually an entire line of fake Chinese tank destroyers, which didn't actually exist, but the thing is that China does actually have real tank destroyers. They did actually build them, and they built real SPGs, and that enemy tank, that SMVCC56, just died to the Arty, the Iron Arty. So Angelina's now looking over to the east side of the map where that EBR Hotchkiss is. Try and get a shot on him instead. Nasty bit of reticule bloom there. That's because if you look at the minimap, you can see the field of fire is right at the edge, and it was fired a bit snap there before the target was fully dialed in. She's now dialing in on this BZ176 to get a shot on him instead. Why should I be complaining about these fake tanks? Well, there's a lot of fake tanks put into the game based on speculation, and these tanks didn't exist, and they never would have existed, but there are tanks, or specifically there are self-propelled guns that should be in the game and are not in the game, which is completely daft. And the reason they won't put them into the game is because they're arty. They are really arty. Yes, tanks that actually did exist were arty, but Wargaming won't put them into the game simply because if they did, there'd be screams and shouts from the tank drivers who can't cope with Arty simply because they don't have to play the game properly. Well, that appeared to hit the wall. Angelina didn't get anything from it. Change of position again. A change in position can also alter the arc of fire. to such an extent that it can actually make it easier for you to actually get hits on the enemy. We're 4 up on the enemy at the moment, and the thing is that this is an assault game, so it's only supposed to last 10 minutes, and we're already through the 5-minute mark, or, well, we're getting close to it. Sorry, 5 minutes and a quarter. So we need to speed up somehow. Rounds out the T-3485. Very close. 58 hit points there from a near miss, and she got some stun. Now we're pushing the enemy because, of course, I've got to capture the cap or kill all the enemy tanks within that 10 minutes. And that may sound easy to some, but it's not actually as easy as you think. Okay, BZ176, she's dialing in, she's almost ready to go. Rounds out, looks good. And she got a hit. A direct hit on the BZ. He's tracked. He should be taking fire from our guys who are nearby, but they don't appear to be shooting at the stunned tanks, which is a common fault for players who play Arty. They just can't get the stun assist because people won't shoot at the tanks they keep stunning. There's another one. She's done it again. 138 points from actual damage, but no stun assist because her teammates aren't firing at the targets. Well, there's the target she does want to get rid of. That's the GW Panther, her opposite number on the enemy team. There's 2 Arty on either side. Both Arty on the enemy team are GW Panthers. And she got a direct hit. Yep, one of the enemy GW Panthers just took a hit. She doesn't know how much for, but considering they've got very thin armor, she more than likely did a lot of damage to that guy. We do have a light tank who's going up there, and in fact, actually, the GW Panther just got wiped out by a KB85 in our team, which means now Angelina can focus on this BZ176 who's trying to damage our E8. She stunned him, and I think she tracked him on both tracks. But these guys are not doing anything. Come on, shoot the track tank, shoot the damage tank. It earns more assistance XP for Angelina. Now, her fellow Arty in this game is also firing in from a different direction. That's an S51. There's the other enemy Arty. It's a GW. We fire, rounds out, and she gets the kill. 52 hit points, and Angelina's finally got a kill on the game. Of course, she was unlucky that somebody else kill-stealed away from her when she got previous hits. Okay, that BZ is, well, the last enemy tank. He's trapped in that corner. Angelina's going to fire in. Well, she tracked him. She's holding him in place, and it looks like the cavalry's turning up in the form of an E25, who will probably get in on that BZ176 and start nailing holes in him. Okay, he's come out from behind the hole, and it looks like he's going to put a round into the E8, but Angelina fires in, and she gets another direct hit, this time for 236. The E25 goes down to that big 16-centimeter gun on the BZ176, but there's the S51 hitting him again. Multiple stuns, and the Scorpion and the EZ8 have turned up. We've got 2 minutes to go. Angelina fires in again, and this time round the kill shot goes to the Scorpion that wins the game, but Angelina would have got a stun either way. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for Angelina75 in the GW Panther. She got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 12 in this one. And she got a Confederate medal as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. And in fact, that combination, getting the second class and Bruiser, which is what Talon managed to hold the lead with for several days, and then getting the Confederate, means that Angelina took the lead at the last second and won the contest with this game. Yes, she did so well that she managed to pip Talon at the post, and she had the lie-in on Sunday morning. So let's have a look at the rest of the results. Angelina got a win 8 of 1,855, which is very good. If we look at the team score, we can see she's a little way down the table on damage. The highest damage in the game turned out to be that BZ176, and he got a high caliber for 3,723 hit points, with the second highest damage being the Vipera, 2,174 hit points to him, and 2,147 went to the Samur SM. When it came to kills, it was shared between the Samur SM, the E25, the Scorpion, and one tank on the enemy team. Their GW Panther managed to get 3 as well. When it came to second place, we can see it was the Vipera. The KD85 got 2 kills, and so did that BZ176, and he picked up, of course, the high caliber. And Angelina only got the 1 kill in the game, but I don't think she'll be worried about that. When it came to base XP, she's in 4th place overall because the E25 got 967, 924 went to the Smur, 844 went to the Vipera, and then Angelina got 801 in 4th place. But of course, she won the Weekend Lion. 16 shots fired, a nice healthy number of shots fired. It's got a good fire rate, the GW Panther. You can pump out a lot of shots, even in just 10 minutes. She got 6 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but she did get 15 splash. Damage of 1,409 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She did damage 7 of the enemy, kill 1, so there's a 6 difference there to get the Confederate. 1,120 stun assist off 12 stuns. So she did get some stun assist, just not a lot. Far less than you'd normally expect. She earned 23,984 credits on a free-to-play account, and after ammunition resupply took away 6,064 credits profit, and 801 base XP times 2 for the first victory, 1,602 experience points altogether. She says, well, at least they fired on some of the stun tanks. So, yes, they did, but not the ones that were most important to fire at the right time when she was consistently stunning the same tank again and again and again. Nobody was actually watching and listening and doing something about it that enabled Angelina to get some profit out of it. But anyway, it was a victory, and Angelina did win the Weekend Lion, so we start off a new week. And with that in mind, actually, Talon has sent in his first submission for the following week. Yes, I'm recording this on the Monday, and Talon's already sent in his first replay for next week's Lion. So we'll watch that right now. And here is Talon's game, and he's in the Hummel on Province.
Time to roll out.
Well, it's the southwest spawn. Plenty of potential. In fact, either spawn on Province is fairly good if you're an Arty player. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's no good Province, but actual fact, I think there are plenty of firing positions, and some of them are really good. They're very easy to get lots of damage on the enemy. And Talon's picking an early position, which is near the bushes, so you can actually shoot down the road towards the enemy tanks that are coming up towards our side of the map. So, yes, it's a very advantageous position, this one, because you can look right down the road. You can see the Burt fired in there. Nobody's been spotted coming up that road yet, but somebody has been spotted on the opposite side of the map. In fact, now we've got a Super Chaffee trying to come straight across the valley, which is not a smart move. No, he's changed his mind now. Trying to run away. Rounds out. Oh, yes, that was close. Very close indeed. Landed alongside him for 188 hit points. We can still see him. He took some damage, and now he's taking more fire, and he might still be there. Yes, he is still there, and now he's a wreck because the Burt just nailed him, and he's out the game. Okay, so no enemy spotted yet on this side of the map. Just have to wait to see if somebody did manage to make it across. Maybe our guys just didn't spot them and they are up there. But I have a feeling if they do get spotted, then Talon's going to have a good go at them. Now, he's got the 15 centimeter howitzer, which is the same one on the Gorilla. Capable of doing 480 alpha and penetrating 38 millimeters of armor. Standard reload time is 25.31 seconds, and Talon's got it down to 20 there. Okay, so we do see an enemy tank has made it up its way up this side. It's a tier 7 game. That's the T-29 American heavy tank. Rounds out. Right on his rear. That landed on the engine deck, that one. He got 120 hit points from that shot, and he got some stun assist immediately afterwards. Okay, we've got a VK3601H, who's gone up into that spotting position up there, and now we've got an M6. So he's decided to sit behind that rock. Oh, and yes, that worked. 47 hit points. but he did get some damage, and our teammates appear to be firing back at that M6. Now, at this moment, Talon's thinking about moving position, and I'd say stick here just for the moment, and for good reason. He can get shots directly into the side of that M6 as he comes up. So he's redeploying now to get behind the bushes so he can't be spotted by any of the tanks on this side of the map. He's sticking to as far east as he can go to make sure that he can get good avenues of attack on those enemy tanks. The M6 has gone down. He was taken out by the Cromwell. And in the meantime, Talon's just looking to see if he can get a shot on that Scorpion over on the other side of the battlefield. Oh, now he's flipped himself. And this is perfect because now Talon can go to town, put him out the game. Rounds out. Oh, before Talon's shell arrives, the teammate in the M4A1 FL10 managed to pick him off. That would have been just so funny if he'd landed himself on his side and then Talon had actually put him out of his misery after the M4A1 with the automatic auto-loading gun had finally done some damage. Now that shot was to get some stun on the T29. It also stunned our E25. The E25 went down, but the T29's still there. Now, Talon's actually decided to re-aim at the VK because the VK's being a nuisance to our guys at the moment trying to get that T29. T29's gone. The Oni got him. And now Talon and the FB304 have both decided to move up and get closer and closer to the enemy, mainly so they can hit the enemy tanks over on the other side of the battlefield because they are under pressure. We've got 3 tanks over there at the moment, but there's only 3 showing. There's a Hummel and a Striv 74 and an SMB CC 56. Now, Tanner's parked himself half on, half off the slope. Now, he's having a look around for the other Arty. There are 2 Artys on the enemy team. One of them's a Hummel, the other one's an M44. We're looking for the M44 at the moment. He's firing at this bush. No, didn't get anything there. Okay, the VK's come down from his lofty position, and Talon's having difficulty trying to get a shot on because of that angle that he's parked on, and of course the house being in the way. So he's pulled back just a little bit. Over on the other side of the battlefield, we see that M18 Hellcat, or is it Super Hellcat actually, that one? Of course, as we know, there was only one Hellcat that actually had a 90mm gun, and that was only for trials. They never put them on all of them, just for the trials one. You have to wonder if the reason why they didn't do it to all of the Hellcats may have been down to the fact that it wasn't, the hull wasn't structurally strong enough to actually take the 90mm gun, and that's why they decided to stick with the 76mm and not to rearm them all. Plus, of course, they didn't build that many Hellcats, so they probably felt, and that was a direct hit on the SMB CC 56. Yes, they probably felt it was a huge expense to actually refit all of those Hellcats with 90mm. We need to move. Yep, our teammates are abandoning this side of the map, and we're going to go to the other side of the map. Mainly because that VK601H. Now, Talon's got 2 choices here. He can either go into the bushes behind our cap and shoot from there, or he can go over to the other side of the map and try and shoot at the enemy. In fact, actually, what he's decided to do is sit in the cap area and poke fun at the enemy by shooting at them from here. It's a little in the obvious, but he might have a good reason for doing this, because obviously he's in a much straighter position, I suppose, or a much better position to hit some of the targets with the buildings blocking the way if he goes up onto the right side of the map, the east side. Super Hellcat sitting behind there. At least that's where we think he is. Now, as all of you may know, actually, I don't know if you do know, if you may not know, actually, the Super Hellcat, or rather the Hellcat in general, wasn't the most popular of the tank destroyers. Now, a shell just went in there, and I think it went in from the Burt, and I think it hit something. Yeah, I think it hit something because there was no explosion after he fired. The shell landed without an explosion, so I think it did hit something. Talon's lining up another one. This on the SMV-CC. He's been tracked. Rounds out. And that's a hit. 241. Ooh, now that's interesting. The Super Hellcat has changed position. We now know where he's been spotted, and we can hit that spot. He may think he's safe from the tanks, but he's not safe from Talon. We'll be able to lift the shell up over. Now the SMV-CC56 is pushing on. It's getting closer, but Talon can still get a shot on him. He might need to back up, actually. The SMV's gone down. The T-25-2 got him. Our T-25-2 is still staying on the outside of the valley, on the west side, waiting for that VK to come round. And Talon's decided he's going to stick in the bushes for a couple of shots, see what he can do from here. Don't want to get too close to the rock face though, because that might block you from shooting at the VK if he does come down from certain directions, although it does give you a good shot into this direction. Okay, we're wondering if that Super Hellcat's going to try and come down and get the M4A1. The Burt died. He got taken out by the enemy Hummel, so maybe he did actually locate where the Hummel was and started firing at him. Of course, Talon's actually protecting that M4 at the moment. If that guy, if one of the enemy tanks comes up behind him, he can blast him. In fact, the Super Hellcat has moved down. And Talon's, is it Talon? No, it's actually the Jagdpanzer IV who's marked him for a request for fire. And Talon is aiming at him, waiting for him to come around the corner. If Talon gets a penetrating shot, he could wipe him out. It's 480 is the alpha, so he could get a full roll, a high roll, and finish off the Super Hellcat with one round. So, will the Super Hellcat risk it? He hasn't got enough hit points, really. The M4A1 FL10 still got 709. That's much more than the Super Hellcat, but he might risk it for a biscuit. And he takes a hit, 193. And we just noticed the enemy Strib 74 came around the other corner, and he took a couple of shots from the autoloader in the M4A1. And he's now out the game. So Talon's reloading. I'm pretty sure that M4A1 was very happy that Talon's shell came flying in to distract that Super Hellcat just at the moment when he needed to fire at the enemy Strib. Well, he managed to thread the needle on that one. It went right between the buildings, but I think the Super Hellcat had moved between them. Okay, he's keeping the Super Hellcat in sight. And they're moving up. Now Talon's just repositioning at the moment, trying to get a good spot that he can fire on, or fire from. And the Super Hellcat's been wiped out by the T-25-2, which now means there's only 3 enemies left. The VK, who's supposed to be on our side of the battlefield. The M44 suddenly come into sight, and Talon's looking for him. And of course that Hummel, who we do know is very badly damaged. He's only got a quarter of his health left. The Jagdpanzer IV's decided to come over our side. I think we're definitely into the end game now. I generally look for these barriers to be knocked down when something's coming up this side of the map, and that tells me that they've reached that point, and I lob the shell in the hope that it actually hits something. Talon's decided he's going to go the long way round because I think he's uncomfortable without going where the Jagdpanzer IV went, just in case that VK is waiting from the other side of the battlefield to shoot into them. If the Jagdpanzer suddenly loses hit points, we'll know that he was watching. Plus, of course, Talon needs range to fire from with the Hummel to make it work. I mean, he can get up close and personal with the enemy, do a shotgun, but I think at the moment he'd rather shoot from a distance and preserve his life just in case that BK is around. Okay, he's ready to go. They're bound to find the enemy. They found him. It's the Hummel. Fires his round in. Oh, and the shells do come in at that precise moment. And it looks like the enemy M44 just fired from the other side of the battlefield. That's the 2-minute siren. Okay. Got the T25-2 coming up on the outside. This is going to get very interesting because if the BK is still on the other side of the battlefield, he's going to be shooting down as we try to cap, and then we'll get shots on him. The M44's been spotted. He's trying to go up the other side. He's going up the road that leads to the top. We can't see the BK yet, but we can definitely see the M44, and he's taking fire, and he's out the game. The M4A1FL10 got him too, and he's now got 3 kills, but we still don't know where that BK is. And I have to wonder, is the BK on his side? There he is, he's been spotted. Okay, now, Talon's going to the aim. He isn't on his side. He is still in the game, and we're in the last minute. He stops. Talon takes a round into him for 171. He's stunned. And we're getting some damage assist, some stun assist here. Okay, he's on the move again. We will get another shot before the end of the game. He's decided to come down the slope and get close to the cap. Here we go. Get ready. He's gone into the cap area. Rounds out. That's a hit. 147. More stun assist. He's taking a pounding now, and he will go down. And that's the end of the game with 17 seconds left on the clock. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for talon1958 in the Hummel. He managed to get a bruise, a medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 7, and he got a Confederate as well because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. In fact, he didn't get a single kill in the game, and that actually helped him to get the Confederate. His win rate from that game, 1,756. So he's starting the week with a really good score. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. No, that went to the M4A1FL10. He got 2,850 hit points of damage in that game, got the high caliber. The second highest damage went to the VK3002M on our team with 1,726. And the third highest damage in the game actually went to the T29 on the enemy team. He got 1,696 hit points. When it came to kills, it was actually the M4A1FL10. He got 4 kills as that one. 3 kills were earned by the Cromwell, the Super Hellcat on the enemy team, and their VK3601H. And 2 kills went to the T25-2 on our team and the Hummel on the enemy team. Talon didn't get any kills, but as I said, that actually helped him to get the Confederate because he hit more tanks than anyone else without actually killing them. And when it came to base XP, we can see that he's actually in 4th place overall because the M4A1FL10 managed to get 1,462, which is a decent score, over 1,000. And 1,038 went to the VK3002M, and they were the only 2 players to get over 1,000. But the Cromwell was the next one with 952. And then we've got Talon with 770, which is more than any of the enemy team tanks. So well done indeed. Let's have a look at team detailed. 16 shots fired. Again, just like Angelina, he had a decent fire rate, which actually helped him to get the damage he needed. 6 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 13 splash. Damage of 1,289 hit points, of which 1,142 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some close range shooting. I think that might have been on the little super chappie who came across the battlefield. He got fairly close before he got sort of like splashed by one of Talon's round and then decided, no, I want to go away. And in fact, actually, that ended up with him being killed. Probably would have been better for him if he'd actually continued moving towards our side. He got 6 enemy vehicles damaged, none were killed, and 1,443 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. So that helped him to get that first-class tanker. On a premium count, he earned 47,600 credits from the battle, 50,000 for completing a mission, 97,600 altogether, and after ammunition resupply took away 89,520 credits profit. 1,155 XP for the battle, times 2 for the first victory, 2,310 experience points altogether. He says it's a great start to the week. Well, it certainly is, because obviously the only way Angelina can beat him at the moment is to either get a first-class bruiser and something with a medal and get a higher win 8 than Talon. And, well, Angelina's done that before. Or she could get an ace tanker, which would automatically give her the week's win straight away without any trouble at all. And she wouldn't have to, or they wouldn't have to contest again for the rest of the week. But, of course, the danger of doing that, if she does get that, or try to go for the ace tanker, then Talon's going to be ready for next week, so to speak. He'll buff up his skills and get a really good result from next week, to get an ace tanker. But this certainly starts them off with a decent contest, because now Angelina's going to have to get something really good, either a first-class bruiser and 2 medals. That might work, or a better win 8, certainly. But yes, we'll have to see, because it's going to be a ding-dong battle throughout the week. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. Really good battles. If you did enjoy it, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below, because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.